This is Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate, the podcast where we cover home buying, home selling, home improvement tips and ideas, market trends and developments, and investing in real estate. If you own real estate in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area, or want to own real estate here, then you're in the right place. Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate is hosted by Blake Watson, a real estate agent and investor in Tennessee and Georgia.
Welcome to Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate. I'm Blake Watson. I'm an agent with Epic Realty, and today we are going to talk about real estate investing. So there are a lot of ways to invest in real estate. We're going to focus on residential real estate right now, and there are a lot of different ways to invest in residential real estate as well. So there are quadplexes, there are triplexes, duplexes, and there are single-family homes, a townhouse, a condo. But for what we're going to talk about today, we're going to focus on single-family detached homes. It's a house with a yard. And there are two primary ways to invest in houses. There are fix and flips, and then there's buy and hold to rent. Let's first talk about fix and flip. That's where you buy a house that needs repairs, then you do the rehab, then you'll relist the house and sell it for a profit. Now, there are a lot of elements involved with fix and flip. Of course, you've got to locate the house that you're going to fix up, and it needs to be one that needs some repairs. Maybe not a lot of repairs, but very likely it needs significant repairs. Of course, selecting the right neighborhood, the right part of town is important as well. So there's research to be done, not only on the value of a specific house, but also on the viability of it being flipped and being profitable as a real estate fix and flip. Now, the fix-up process is going to include a number of elements. You're going to have to be able to estimate your repairs, and I've learned a lot through my personal experience doing this. You can get estimates from independent contractors, maybe the specific ones that do the different tasks that are needed on a property. You can get an estimate from a general contractor who's going to do all of the work for you. And if you're handy or you're in a trade, you may want to do some of the work yourself. Generally, having other people do the work is a better route to take, but there are some people who really enjoy working on a house. So when you estimate your repairs, you need to be able to calculate that you're going to be able to do it in a certain amount of time as well. So there's estimates of time, and I can tell you from personal experience two things. The estimate you've made for repairs is often not going to be quite enough, so be very conservative in your estimate and make sure you have some margin. You also will likely underestimate the amount of time it will take to get the repairs done. No matter how much experience anyone has, it seems to always take a little bit longer than it should have. So you know your purchase cost and you've estimated your repairs. You also need to estimate your holding costs. Holding costs are generally pretty predictable. You're going to have interest on any money that you're borrowing to hold the house, and you're going to be paying that interest on a monthly basis, or at least calculating it on a monthly basis. And if you're not borrowing money, well, there's still holding costs of having your money tied up in that house. No matter what, there is a holding cost to keeping a property over time. You're going to have a holding cost of property taxes and insurance. I guarantee you're paying property taxes, and you can expect to be paying for insurance. You'll also have utility costs, including deposits that may need to be held by the utility company. So calculate that in. And then each month that you have water and electricity, gas, garbage service, any of that, each month that you have that is going to be a cost. So now you've got your original purchase cost, you've estimated your rehab costs, and you've estimated your time that it's going to take to rehab the property. And so you have these holding costs during that time. So you now know what that cost is. After you've calculated all those costs, now you know your all-in cost. So what are you going to be able to sell it for? That's going to be what determines your profit. The difference between what you sell it for and what you were able to buy it, hold it, and fix it up for. There are some costs of sale that you'll need to keep in mind. There's marketing, there are closing costs, there may be commissions. And if you work with me as a realtor to sell your house, well, you're not incurring the marketing costs because that's what I do. So there are a lot of factors to consider for fix and flip. And there are a number of people in the Chattanooga area and in the northern counties of Georgia that I know who are successfully flipping houses. And it is possible to make a living flipping houses. If you fixed and flipped 5 houses in a year at a $20,000 profit on each of those houses, there's your 6-figure income right there. So it certainly is possible. Now, one of your key partners will be your realtor. You want to look for a realtor who understands and looks at properties through an investor's eyes, that can see a property through the lens of an investor. And one good way to know that your realtor can see properties through the lens of an investor is if they are an investor, buying and selling properties themselves, fixing them up, doing the repairs needed, and having some good contacts with contractors and vendors who are going to be able to help you as you rehab the property. Now, that's a basic overview of fix and flip. The other primary way to use residential real estate for investing is buy and hold. When you buy and hold, you're really going to rent the property out, and that is how you'll make your money as an investor. So why would you want to own rentals? Well, there's a lot of reasons. First off, someone else, specifically your tenant, is paying for your property. Not only can you borrow money to invest with a mortgage on the property that you're buying, but you are going to have a tenant who is making payments to you that should cover your costs. And if you've done it right, you should also be able to generate cash flow, maybe not a lot, maybe just $100 a month, but that will grow in the future. When you own rentals, you are able to have a pretty quick start to positive cash flow. Startup companies actually talk about their burn rate. That's how fast they're burning through cash, and they're going to run out of cash at a certain point. But instead of a burn rate, you are having an earn rate. You're covering your costs pretty quickly, and you'll have positive cash flow if you buy correctly. There are multiple opportunities to have return on your investment. First, it's an income-producing asset. It produces income from the rent, and it's an appreciating asset. Property values do increase over time. We have certainly all seen that in recent years, but it's gone on for the past 100 years. Property values have continued to rise over time. So there's an appreciation aspect to your return on investment. Real estate is a great hedge against inflation. You begin building equity immediately in an appreciating asset. Now, there's a couple of ways you build that equity. First, if you're making payments on a mortgage, as you pay down the balance of your mortgage, each month you gain a little bit more equity in your property. At the same time, there is appreciation. In Chattanooga in 2023, properties appreciated at about 3.5%. I think it's going to be slightly more than that for 2024. It was much higher than that in the pandemic, as you know. There are great tax advantages for rental income, and real estate happens to be an asset that you can depreciate on your taxes while it is actually appreciating in the marketplace. You also receive the tax benefits of owning and operating your own business. You just need to speak with your tax accountant about how you can utilize real estate to help you on your taxes. Unlike many investments, real estate is tangible. You can drive up and see your investment at any time. Now, we know that stocks go up and down, and I've actually seen stocks disappear, completely go away. I've seen loans disappear, completely go away, and businesses close and disappear. But I have never seen a house disappear. A house is called real property, and there are a lot of other investments that are not as real as real estate. Rental income can be passive income. Now, granted, you do have some actions you need to take, so there is some activity. The checks don't just roll in. You have to take care of things on your property. There are rents to be collected and managed and books to be kept. But it is partially passive, meaning that you aren't actively working in the business dozens of hours a week. You can certainly own rental property and probably invest a couple of hours a month, and that's about all it takes. Rental income does have the potential to be truly passive if you use a property manager to handle the day-to-day operation of your rental business. And I'm speaking from personal experience because I do manage properties of my own, but I also have a property management company that I work with. I am their client, and they manage some of our houses and handle all of the aspects with the tenants, with the property, everything about it. And we do receive a check on a regular basis. So it really can be truly passive. But if you allow a property management company to do it, then there's a cost to doing that as well. As long as you can pay them and still be profitable on your investment, by all means do it. Investing in real estate, whether you're fix and flip or if you're buy and hold, is a benefit to your community. You have the opportunity to clean up and maintain an otherwise dilapidated or rundown property, and you help people in your community by providing a good home. And I am absolutely an advocate for taking good care of your property and taking care of your tenants who live in that property. They are your customers. And if you are taking care of your tenants and the property, most of the time you'll find that they are being careful to take care of your property and their obligations as well. There's a benefit to your family from owning rental property. So not only are you setting up an ongoing stream of income that has the potential to last for your lifetime, but it can also be passed on to your heirs. So if you have children, this could be one of the best business and wealth building strategies you can teach them, to own rental properties. I've always told my kids they can do anything they want and they can have more choices in life from owning rental real estate. So in Chattanooga and in Northwest Georgia, we have tremendous opportunity for investing in real estate, both fix and flip and buy and hold. While both of these investment strategies work, I am a strong advocate for buy and hold because the Chattanooga area is a great place to own rental real estate. You already know that people are moving to Chattanooga from all over the country. There's high demand for rental property. Properties in the Chattanooga area are appreciating. We are seeing continued rise in value in houses in the Chattanooga area. And if you have a realtor who owns real estate, who is an investor, that's all the better. Now, as a realtor, I invite you to contact me. I would love to talk to you about buying rental real estate in the Chattanooga area. I was a real estate investor long before I was a realtor. My wife and I have been investing in real estate for more than 2 decades, all of it in the Chattanooga and Northwest Georgia area. And I've had numerous other partners along the way. We've bought a lot of houses. We have sold a lot of houses. We've rented a lot of houses. I'm now licensed in Tennessee and Georgia so that I can help you if you are looking to get involved with investment real estate. If you'd like to buy a house that you can rent out, let's talk. Give me a call, text me, direct message me, however you want to reach out. Just do it so that we can talk about it, and I'd love to help you on your journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. There's nothing quick about building wealth in real estate. It is a get-rich-slowly plan, and my family's been doing it, and yours can too. Reach out to me. Let me give you my cell phone number. It's 423-315-1815. You can find me on Facebook and on LinkedIn as Blake Watson. And then you can find me on Instagram as Rock and Roll Blake. Now, my website is realestatebyblake.com. You can get me on email with blake@realestatebyblake.com. We'll talk about investing in more depth and more detail on future podcasts and go through a lot of the steps of investing in real estate. So please follow the podcast, and thank you for listening. I look forward to talking to you next week on Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate.